Hi everyone, thank you for joining me on this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about SAML and the application that use SAML for authentication. And for our identity provider in this demo, I'm going to use Ping Identity or PingOne. SAML is one of the protocols that are widely used for internet authentication to access application. So I'm going to show you the SAML flow. First, user access to service provider. Service provider can be any company, like services inside the companies that we work for them, like Salesforce or other travel companies that our user authenticate with our internal systems, authentication system, and then get access to service provider to their website and application without needing for re-authenticate or type their user and password. Everything's happen inside the identity provider. Could be like a intro ID or Okta or PingOne in this video. And identity provider provides authentication and then the attributes for the users. So user access to service provider like Salesforce or a travel company, and then service provider asks for SAML request back to the browser, and then the browser, user's browser, ask from identity provider for authentication. And then after the authentication happen and user type the correct username, password, MFA, and other security methods that we have in our IDP or identity provider, then the browser will receive SAML assertion. Inside SAML assertion, we have authentication statement, which is successful or fail, attribute statement, so like name, email, role, and for example, client or workforce identity, and then authorization decision statement. Is user allowed to access to the resource or not? So user authentication could be successful, no issue, but user maybe does not have access to that resource. Company doesn't allow that user to access to the resource. And then the browser send SAML assertion to service provider, and service provider inspect that, and then based on that allow user to access to the resources and level of their resource. Probably we have read-only, admin access, developer access, and other kind of accesses depend on the user's attributes or group membership. So go to the application and application here. So if I select the application catalog, as you can see, we have many applications. They are out of the box application that PingOne support team created these. So this will help us to access the service provider much easier. But our application, it's a custom application, so we don't have it in here. And we'll review the authentication flow as well. So to create a new SAML application, we're going to click plus. This is our SAML PingOne without MFA. So we're going to create a SAML application, so SSO happening without MFA. Later, we will create one with MFA. These settings, MFA or without MFA, it will be part of the authentication policy. Okay, I selected SAML application and click config. All right, in here we need to import metadata, either a file or we can manually enter the information or import from URL. This website is a good website for creating and testing SAML, and this will be our service provider. And I'm going to download this site. Metadata actually didn't download, so it shows in the browser. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one, import, and save. So all the information that we need for uh, this application imported from the link. And these are information that for PingOne, we need to provide some of these to our service provider. So back to the service provider. So these are information that service provider needs. It's a metadata from our PingOne. So it's a upload metadata. Let's find that one. This is our metadata URL. Let me browse this first. Copy. This is another XML file. Minimize. Okay, this is our identity provider, which is PingOne, and information about PingOne endpoints, and submit XML. I'm going to select choose the file, and it was this one. Submit file. So this is our endpoint to service provider. I'm going to copy this notepad into my notepad. So let's go back to the application. So this is our application in here. In the configuration attribute map, the only thing that we will send it is user ID as a SAML subject. And in here, we don't have any policy. Don't forget to enable the application and access. So group membership, so there is no restriction. So this application is open for all of the users, and selecting here that just this group of user can access to that. But for now, let's do not restrict it. Save. So it's all the user, they can access and no policy. So this done. If we back SAML PingOne without MFA, it's ready. So I'm opening in private mode. When I browse this URL, I got redirected to PingOne. The reason for that because PingOne is our identity provider, and in here I'm going to use one of the ping user and directory user, the user that we created, ping this user. I'm going to copy the username and back to here, username and password. So authentication is successful. This is our user ID inside the PingOne. As you can see, this is authentication details, and the only attribute that was passed is SAML subject. And inside the assertion, we have these values. So let's go to the application again. Close all of these. Application. So we want to send username, family name, like other attributes like a driving license, workforce identity, and all of these things. So we're going to use in here instead of SAML subject. This is required, so this must be sent. If I select instead of this, we'll send username. Add in here is just driving license. Okay, fix the license. Okay, and driving license. This is the custom attribute that we created. Family. Let's select the family in here, family name. And the other one is MFA bypass. MFA can user bypass MFA, and the other thing is let's add group membership as well. Members. It's group names. So let's save this. Say successful, and let browse this URL again and check our SAML assertion in private mode. Username and password. So right now it changed to, we changed the attribute to from the user ID to username. So this is username, and if we go further down, this is a family name, example family. Group membership or members is sample group, ping user, dynamic PingOne. MFI bypass, it is true, and it is driving license. My app. Type the username. This is Ping Identity, my apps portal. So all of the application that we assign to the user, they will be in here. And probably 10, 15, 20 application will be in here. And user, we can select the application. And this time it doesn't ask for the username or password anymore. Let's go back to the application. I'm closing this one. A couple of things inside the application. And the application. In here, we can assign different policy when ask for MFA or just single factor. It means username and password. So MFA, it will, if the user registered for MFA, MFA will be prompt for the user. We can manage this individually per application. If I select this one for this application, still, if I copy this one, still the user can access to my apps without MFA, just a user and password. But once user click on the application, this time I need to rename it to with MFA. MFA will be prompt for the user, right? Because I didn't register for MFA for this user. It's a welcome page will pop up. That's a really good and important things in Ping Identity. We can have different policy for different application. Maybe we have some application that users should access to it through a certain boundary or certain challenges. Maybe an admin portal for another application for our databases, for our network devices. So that one should be protected by a couple of challenges like FIDO key or strong MFA method. And yeah, that's all about the application SAML SSO in Ping. Thank you for watching this video.